Hi there, I'm Beck from Swirlydoos Kit Club, and today I'm going to show you how to put together this easy watercolour mixed media background on this layout that I have here. So let's get started. So for this layout I chose to use this Prima paper from the Butterfly collection. So a lot of people like to do the watercolour background on just clear plain cardstock, but I quite like to use patterned paper, so I chose this one. I'm not a great fan of this butterfly up here, so I'm going to cover this up with my photo. What I've done is I've used the butterfly 6x6 pad to make myself a little background for my photo. So what I've done is cut the paper out, distress the edges and ink them up. So this is going to go here. What I like to do when I start my layout is I like to mark out where my photo is going to go. Oh, I've lost my pencil. So just in pencil I just mark out where that's going to sit so that I know where I'm going to just leave that blank so I know where my layout's going to go. And the next thing I do before I start doing anything is I put a layer of clear gesso on my paper. This just helps the mixed media go on the page nicely. It gives it a nice background, and so that my sprays and whatnot don't sink into the paper too quickly. It gives me kind of a nice base to work on. I'll just put this on, just a nice even coat. So once my background is dry, I like to use some extra texture on my paper. So I'm going to add a couple of stencils. This one is one of the Prima doily stencils, just 6x6, and this is the Tim Holtz stripe stencil. So I'm just going to add those on just with some modelling paste or texture paste. Any brand will do. I'm just going to add those onto my page now. Okay, now that our background is nice and dry now, or the paste is dry, we can start on putting some colour on. What I'm going to show you today is how we can get a nice kind of watercolour effect using different types of mediums. So what I'm going to show you is how to do it with some sprays. So I've got some Lindy's sprays. Also with some mica powder. So what I've got today is just a magical powder by Lindy's. You can also put colour on your background using inks. So I've just got a Prima chalk edger, but distress ink works just as well. Another thing you can use to put colour on your background is gelatos. So I've got one of those. And also watercolours work really well with this. This is just one of like a children's watercolour set. So it's awesome. So we're going to use all these different things to make our background colour. What I like to do is I like to start with the lightest colour first, and then work my way to the darkest colour. So the lightest colour I think I've got today is going to be this pink. So for the inks, to put watercolour, to make the watercolour effect, I like to stamp it onto my craft mat like this, so I get some colour on there. And then what I do is I dip my paintbrush in some water, and then I just mix it around in that little puddle of ink. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to dab it onto my page where I kind of want some colour. Just random, doesn't have to be any particular order, just anywhere. Because I'll fill in all the gaps as I kind of go. Now once I've got colour in kind of random spots, then to make it kind of move, I just wet my paintbrush with some water and then kind of add some movement into there. So extra water, and then just let the water pool around a wee bit. And then as you add more colours, the colours will kind of mix together. Lots of colour, and then it just moves around. It's okay if it dries a little bit, because with the gesso on the background, it gives you that time to kind of give movement, so it won't really soak into the paper, it kind of sits on top for a little while. And you can kind of let it move your paper, let it run a little bit. Get some light pink on there. And then I've got some light pink spray as well, so I might pop some of this on. Give it a mix. I never put like spray in my sprays on, I always use a paintbrush. So again, I kind of just put some on, just kind of randomly, just wherever I feel. And then I get some water, just kind of let the colours mix a little bit with water. Okay, then I'll just move on to my next colour. We keep doing that as so on, so I'll keep moving on. Now I'll show you this one. If you're going to use a mica powder, what you want to do is you want to scoop a little bit out onto your craft mat. And then you want to stick some of your wet paintbrush in and just smush that around. Like that. And then just keep adding water with your paintbrush to kind of make your pool a bit bigger. And then just the same thing, just kind of dab that on randomly. And then just excess water. Okay, so with using the gelatos for the colour, all you want to do is you want to draw some gelato on your craft mat and then mix it with your paintbrush. Just get all those lumps out. And then just do it in the same fashion. So it just kind of mixes all together. The more water you put on your page, the more it'll kind of run together. You can dry between colours, you don't kind of get a giant mess of colour if it gets too wet. I might dry that off now and then we'll come back and do some more colour. Oh, just a note, when I dry, all I do is I get a wet paintbrush and I kind of just go around the edges to blend the edges so I don't end up with any kind of really harsh lines around my edges. So you'll just see me that as I dry, I just kind of blend my edges as I dry. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some darker colour with this paint set. So this is a cheap way of getting lots of colours in one go. It's a really dark purple. If it goes on too dark and you don't like it, what you can do is just take a baby wipe and take it up. And then just go with water. If it was a colour you didn't like. Or just add more water to dilute the colour down. Mixed my purple there. A little bit more grey in here. Maybe a little bit more dark here. I splashed it. So again, just dab with it. Baby wipe to take off any colour you accidentally put in the wrong place. Okay. I quite like how that's going. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dry that off. You can always add more colour at the end if you kind of get all your embellishments on and you decide you need a little bit more colour here or there. So I'm going to dry this off now and then we'll start putting the embellishments on. Now that my background is all dry, I get to the fun part, which is embellishing. So all I do for my photo is I like to have it really 3D. So I prop everything up with cardboard. I find this is a lot cheaper than foam dots or foam tape. So I just use packaging off stuff. So I just stick everything in place. this already, I can start for my flowers. So I'll do this in fast forward and I'll see you.